Berry Brains.
It's finally the end of 2016. This was a terrible, terrible year, but here are some things that we actually liked about it.
We watched a bunch of movies this year, so what are our favorites that came out in 2016? Natalie.
I wasn't sure if we were doing a pause there.
Yes, it was dramatic emphasis, you see.
One that stands out for me the most is The Nice Guys, which we actually have for reference.
See?
Haha.
That's the film.
It's really clever, funny. There's action scenes that are really cool, well done. The editing is great. Everything about this. It's set in like the 70s. It's really pleasant. I loved it. It made me laugh.
For me, I realize I've just seen it, so maybe... No, it's not just because it's fresh in my mind. I think I just genuinely adored it. La La Land was awesome. I'm a person who loves musicals, as you probably know, and that part definitely appealed to me. It made reference to a lot of musicals from different eras. The way the story was written, the flow of it, the artistic style of it, it was beautiful.
Also, it's apparently the year of Ryan Gosling, so
yes.
Congrats to you on your fantastic year.
However, there are some honorable mentions. I really, really liked Arrival.
Yes.
It was one of the most science-y films, like not in the sci-fi way, like a truly science-y. And I really enjoyed that sort of realness of it. It was good. And Green Room. Did Green Room come out in 2016?
It did for us.
It did?
I think so. So we talked about movies that came out this year, but how about movies that we just saw during the year?
Yeah, sometimes we get to see older films that we really enjoy. That's a thing. Movies happen.
They don't disappear after the year is gone.
Oh, that would be scary.
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
Oh my god. I wonder if people would see more films or less.
I think people would remake things constantly, even more than they do now.
That is very true.
If you think about it, because like in old musicals, they used to reuse the same songs all the time because nobody would watch it again.
We'd be on our like 5th reboot of Captain America.
Yeah. Anyways.
So mine isn't technically a film, but we did watch the whole thing on the same night, so I'm going to count it as well. A friend of ours showed us Over the Garden Wall, which is an animated series. There's just something like 10 episodes and they're shorter episodes. It was hilarious, it was touching. They jam-pack a lot of like fun and interesting, quirky, original bits in it. It's very creative and I really liked it. And now my friend's like, yes! Somewhere.
She's leaving a comment right now. So for me, I'm sort of cheating.
Oh,
because
we're both cheating.
It's a movie, well, I have two movies, but one of them we did saw it.
And half.
So one of the movies we saw in theaters, but I looked it up and it came out in 2015.
Totally counts. Totally counts.
So that one is Maggie's Plan. Basically, we follow a bunch of intellectual people in New York through kind of a crazy will they, won't they, who's getting together, what's really happening, following essentially Maggie, who had a plan and was she going to stick with it, basically because she wants to get pregnant. It's really clever, it's well done, it feels like a play to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of Shakespearean.
It is, it really is. It's funny. Part of it is in Canada. I really liked it, so that was a big favorite for me. Also, one that I actually watched recently is The Apartment, because I watched a bunch of Christmas movies over the last month. I watched The Apartment, and it's from 1945, and it's really clever, it feels really timeless, it's super funny, but also really touching. You get really attached to the characters, it's a good little universe. We get to know the characters really well. It's also kind of silly. I do recommend it. It's kind of based around Christmas, but honestly, you can watch it anytime.
I just realized I'm drinking out of a time travel-y cup. Maybe we can turn back time and make 2016 better.
No.
Nothing can make it better.
I'm drinking a Frappuccino.
Are you?
Not a sponsor.
So we also read books.
Sometimes.
That's the thing we do.
Yeah.
Yep, and some books we like.
Great insight. I do have one that I wanted to talk about today, though, which I've actually already talked about. If you guys have watched that video, cool. It's called The Horrors and A to Z of Funny Thoughts on Awful Things by Charles the Mouse. Basically what it is a bunch of short essays that goes through the entire alphabet, all about things that have affected the author's life in some way or another. So some of them are quite serious, some of them are really silly, but they're always a funny outlook on each letter, each subject. And I met him, and he's really nice, and hearing him read these stories made it even better. If you ever get a chance to see him, I do recommend. Really funny book, also a bit sad.
I had a plan, and that plan involved reading more books this year. And so I went on Goodreads, and I set myself a challenge, and I got a message a few days ago, and Goodreads was like, "Hey, you're 7 books behind."
It makes you feel any better. I didn't read as much as I wanted to either.
Are you 7 books behind?
Well, I wanted to read like 24, so I'm probably more than 7 behind. I think I read like 14 or something. I sucked more than you did, if you compare.
This year I've been actually rereading a lot of stuff, mostly a lot of Lemony Snicket, because I'm sort of like prepping for that Netflix series. Looks kind of awesome.
I hope it's
awesome.
I'll be so sad if it's not.
Besides that, I did read You're Never Weird on the Internet, Almost, by Felicia Day, and I really enjoyed it. I don't often read non-fiction books. Someone gave this to me, and I heard it was really interesting. It really was. Firstly, her life is kind of interesting. She comes from like a different kind of background than a lot of people do. But for me personally, some parts were actually so on the nose to how I feel or have felt that it was hard for me to read. Like I had to take breaks because it was hitting home too much.
Oh jeez.
I also sort of started a business and stuff, and that not knowing how to run things, just knowing the core subject matter. That was really interesting to me to see how she sort of worked through and the mistakes she made and how sort of grew from that. I liked it, even though it made me a little uncomfortable.
I think all good books do.
That's actually good. We should make shirts with that.
Books make me uncomfortable. That'll sell.
Pre-order now.
Link down below. So yeah, we also listened to things during the year. I listened to several different things.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you listened to?
It's definitely not new to me, but I listened to a lot of Andrew Sisters this year. They're a sort of vocal trio, mainly popular in the 30s, 40s. It's mostly about the sounds because the lyrics are very, very light. A lot of the songs from that era have 4 sentences. There's some dance music lyrics that have more lyrics than songs from the 40s. They harmonize really beautifully together. They're sort of funny too. A lot of music from that era is kind of, they just acknowledge that it's kind of silly. There's an amazing song, it's my favorite thing. It's called You Call Everybody Darling, I believe the name of the song is. And it's about someone who just kind of dates everyone, so is not in a serious relationship, never really in love. And there's this amazing bit in the song where there's a sound effect of someone knocking on the door. And there's just knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Not love.
Jeez.
And I love it. It makes me laugh so much. And there's a lot of that in older music, but the Andrew Sisters have that timing that you can feel like there's a look or there's a glance to their musicians or something. You can feel that there's a lot of character in the music, so that's really entertaining. Plus they sound like exactly what you picture 40s female singers. They're exactly that. I picture them in sepia tone.
The thing that I've discovered this year, I'm able to listen to musical soundtracks that I haven't watched. I didn't know that until this year. It's a thing that I know now. And what started now and what I listened to for most of the year, frankly, is Hamilton. You guys might have listened to it before. I'd love to go see it. I don't have $5,000 for it. I've listened to it a lot. It's so awesome. It's made me cry a bunch of times, but it's also really funny. And I listened to the first half of the musical while I'm at the gym, which is weird probably. But I stopped listening right before it gets sad. I've listened to it like I don't know how many times, and I've also developed a huge crush on Lin-Manuel Miranda. And his Twitter account is great. He's super nice and really excited about things that happen to him, and that's nice to me. Also, I've listened to First Date a lot. If you guys are interested in musicals, it's really funny. It's good.
We're gonna wait. Go check it out.
You can go listen. You pause this video, go listen to entire Hamilton. Come back like 2 hours.
Finish the video. Actually, you should do that for everything. We suggest the film. Go see the film.
Watch it. Come back. Watching this video might take the rest of the year, but it's okay.
There's a hole in my pants and I'm sad.
There is real talk. Rip in peace, literally.
Another casualty of 2016. I've blocked out the beginning of 2016.
It was a year.
That's our second slogan.
2016. It was a year.
It was a year. You could also buy that shirt.
We're in like 2020 and then people are like, oh, retro.
Ooh. Find it in secondhand stores and be like, it was a year.
And then cry about how bad 2017 will definitely be.
No, it's not a beacon of hope.
No.
It's more of the same.
It's gonna suck, maybe more. I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
So, Happy New Year!
Let's talk about board games.
We played some board games, and one that we played a lot is Tsuro. Depending on the game that you choose, some of them are on the ocean, some of them are on land. You're building a path and you're trying to not fall off the board or crash into other people. So you have like little tiles that will give you options of where to go. It's like a really fun starter game if you just want to like warm up a little bit before getting to something more complex, or something that you might want to play at the end of the night, because it's fairly quick. Everyone can kind of jump in pretty quickly, and it's super fun.
A game I really enjoyed this year is Mysterium. One of the things that really is enjoyable with this game is the number of people you can play with.
Oh, also true with Tsuro.
And basically, it's sort of like a mixture between Dixit and, like, I don't know, Clue? One of the players is a ghost of a murdered person, and everyone else has their own sort of genre of supernatural way of contacting that. So you have like tarot readers and numerology and things like that, and they use that to sort of try to solve the crimes. So basically it's a game of showing cards and everyone else trying to interpret what on the card is pointing to who in the options, or what weapon, or what room that the crime took place in. So you're trying to piece together and sort of guessing and sort of working it out. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Clearly we like YouTube a lot. We make these videos, but we also watch a lot of YouTube. Probably more than I should. What's one of your favorites of this year?
A YouTuber that I really like, I've known her for a while, but I really enjoy watching her, is Books and Quills. She's originally from the Netherlands, but she's been living in the UK for a while. She mostly reviews and talks about books, but she's also interested in linguistics and travel and that kind of thing. Sometimes she combines some things, so she'll travel somewhere to a location where a book takes place. It's really interesting. I like how she talks about the books. She just feels like a very sweet and nice human being.
This year, the YouTuber that like stood out the most is Hannah Witten. She's kind of like a vlogger. She does similar stuff to what we do. Some of it's more sit down, talk to the camera, some of it's more vlogs. But over the years she's done a bunch of like mini series that I've really enjoyed. Like one of the ones that I prefer the most, Hormone Diaries. She was on some birth control that was not giving her periods at all. So she hadn't had a period in like 7-8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, like a long time. So she decided to stop taking those and kind of just experience what it's like. So it's kind of her experience finding different options, learning more how her body reacts. It's super interesting. Also, instead of doing Vlogmas, she actually did Vlogmica, I think.
Vlogmica?
Something like that, yeah, because she's Jewish. So like I was like, yeah, no one does that.
Yeah. So
everyone
like
just does Vlogmas. So
8 videos.
yeah,
For the,
they're
that's
not
cool.
all related to Hanukkah, but some of them are. She also does some cool book reviews, and she's super feminist. So if you're into any of that, I encourage you to go see.
Finally, we have had a year where we lived and did stuff. So throughout the year we've done things. What are your highlights of this year?
I think like I speak for both of us when I say this, but Newfoundland was a pretty awesome moment. It was like the first time I'd been there. It was the first time I'd been somewhere that I hadn't already been in a long time, so for me that was super exciting. I hadn't been on a plane in forever. But my personal, like, I think favorite part of that trip was when we went to Signal Hill. It was so windy that day, it was actually kind of ridiculous, but view was incredible.
Beautiful.
And just climbing up that hill, we were all singing Lord of the Rings. Like, it was just a really overwhelming view and moment with the wind and everything. Like, when I think about Newfoundland, that's always what I think about first.
And what I really enjoyed was the food. In particular, Mallard Cottage.
Congrats.
It was a fun atmosphere, but it was also like a fun moment. We just arrived to Newfoundland. We were sort of like, we had an evening to just have a first taste, literally, I guess in this case, of the local stuff. And it's just like, I don't know, it was a good moment. We had like a good conversation, it was fun, it was unique food. The other day I saw a clip of Newfoundland and I was like, I was there!
You guys actually should check out the vlog, it'll be linked somewhere.
Watch all of our videos.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be a great gift to us. Watch every video multiple times if you want.
You know, we need the money. We made $4.
Hey!
I mean, we're never going to receive those $4.
It takes like 100 for them to send the check, so hey!
Looking forward to that.
In 2025. So those were some things that we liked this year. What did you guys like this year? There are probably some good things. Leave them in the comments. We'd love to see.
And if there's anything you'd like to see this year, you want to hear us talk about Godzilla? I went for Godzilla and you went for boats.
I'm more realistic, maybe. Hey, leave a comment down below and we'll do our best to see what's physically possible.
Best case scenario, we start a comedy band. Worst case scenario, we start a comedy band.
Yeah. So look out for that. Thanks